Extra lore about 10 more Lord of the Rings characters. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, and later the 3 Hobbit movies, translated the work of J.R.R. Tolkien to the big screen with, well, mostly great success. But in adapting such expansive works of fiction to the silver screen means you're going to miss some of the richest character development for anyone outside of the primary 2 or 3 characters. This is the second part in this series in which we give you a little more depth and lore about some of the best characters to emerge from the mind of Tolkien, including some that never made the jump from page to screen. 5. Smaug, also known as the Golden or Chiefest and greatest of calamities, is the most powerful dragon of the Third Age, and probably the only one still living in Middle-earth. Dragons first appeared during the First Age when Morgoth, Middle-earth's own version of Lucifer, created them as a means to fight the Noldor elves. But since not even Morgoth himself could create beings from scratch, but only corrupt the ones already in existence, it's not entirely clear how he made them. And there were several variations of dragons, depending on their means of moving around, or on their ability to breathe fire. The first dragons were wingless creatures and walked on all fours, similar to Komodo dragons in the real world. The second variation of dragons, which were only revealed to the world during the War of Wrath and were Melkor's ultimate weapons, also had the ability to fly, and some of them could even breathe fire. This war was, without a shadow of a doubt, the single most devastating conflict in Middle-earth's history. It changed the face of the continent forever, resulted in Melkor's banishment from Earth, as well as the almost complete annihilation of these dragons. Some may have fled to other lands, while one, Smaug, retreated into the mountains to the north. When Smaug finally reappeared, he took over Erebor and the immense riches inside. He drove the dwarves living there into exile, and devastated the lands surrounding the lonely mountain for years before he went into hibernation. Fully aware of his only weakness, which was his soft underbelly, he allowed precious stones and diamonds to imbibe themselves into his skin as he lay on the huge dwarven treasure. Only one small patch remained exposed, a weakness that Bard the Bowman would later take advantage of. It is important to note that, even though Smaug may have been the sole dragon survivor of the War of Wrath, he was by no means the largest. In fact, he was quite small by comparison to Enkiligan, the largest and fiercest dragon to have ever existed. 4. The 2 blue wizards during the Second Age in Middle-earth, and due to Sauron's increasing power, the gods sent down a group of Maiar, a sort of angels, to challenge his threat to the world. Once in Middle-earth, these Maiar took on the appearance of elderly men, known to the elves as Istari, or as wizards by humans. They were, however, limited in their abilities by the Valor gods, who gave them instructions not to present themselves in any majestic form, or to openly display their powers in order to rule over the hearts and minds of men and elves. They were instead instructed to guide and offer counsel, and to unite the free peoples of Middle-earth against the dark threat. Though the Maiar were immortal, their earthly bodies were not, and were subject to hunger, thirst, fear, fatigue, and even death. The exact number of these Maiar sent to Middle-earth is unknown, but there were at least 5. The head of this order of wizards was Saruman, and his second in command was Gandalf. Then there was Radagast the Brown the hippie wizard in the forest in the Hobbit movies, who was known for his excessive consumption of mushrooms of the magical variety. If you catch our drift, and 2 more blue wizards about who people knew almost nothing, not even the other wizard.
Subscribe now.